why would we get lower back pains and sciatica flaring up and all that? So let's look at the physical side of it today, and then we can talk a little bit more towards the end. Okay, if you've got your belts, you've got your water, you've got all your things around you, you're going to sit up, cross legs. We're going to work with the neck and the shoulders first, and then we'll be lying down and working with our 3 to 4 postures that I really recommend we do to strengthen the hip area. So first, cross legs, backs of the wrists on the knees, index fingers and the thumbs begin to link up, collarbones lift at the front and the lumbar spine in its natural arch. Chin is slightly tucked in and eyes closed. Beginning to engage with the body. Ribs moving towards the elbows as you breathe in. Ribs towards the spine as you breathe out. Slow, deep, end-to-end breaths. In, ribs towards the elbows. Out, ribs towards the spine. Continue that 2-3 rounds. Observe the movements. You might want to continue with your eyes closed, or you can open your eyes and then your right ear to your right shoulder or towards your right shoulder. The tendency is to look up towards the ceiling, look straight ahead, get a good stretch on the mastoid on the side. Just allowing, move the head if you need to feel the muscle. And come back to the center. On an exhalation, left ear to the left shoulder. And come back to the center. Do the next one with eyes closed. Tuck the chin into the chest. Feel the muscles at the back of the neck stretching, the skin in particular. On the next exhalation, begin to lift your face up towards the ceiling, back of the head going in towards the shoulder blades. Let the shoulders drop away a little bit. Come back to the center. Continue, allow the chin to tuck into the chest. And we do 3 rotations in each direction. Chin going towards the left shoulder. Chin up towards the ceiling. Towards the other shoulder. And back to the chest. Continue that. 2 more rounds. Go as close chin to the shoulder as you can. With eyes closed, listening to the sounds. There will be clicks in the neck. Let that tension go. Once you come back to the front on the 3rd round, change the direction. Eyes remain closed. And continue the rotation. 2 more. One more. And you come back to the center, spine nice and upright. Then work at the shoulders. Fingers in pyramids, they go on tops of the shoulders. Elbows are now parallel to the floor. Then drop the elbows, bring them towards the front, touch the elbows at the front, let them go up towards the ceiling and round again. That's one round. Second round, elbows to the front and up. Go nice and slow. Let the ligaments and the tendons engage in the shoulders. Elbows touch at the front. They go up. And when the arms are parallel to the floor, you change the direction. Lift the elbows up, join them up at the front, let them drop towards the floor and take them back a little bit, lifting them up, touching in front of your face, dropping them down. One more round, same thing. Take the elbows up, roll, drop the elbows, and drop the hands to the knees. Work the upper spine a little bit. Your right hand, onto your left knee. Show the left hand forward, fingers go wide as possible. Then take the hands up towards the ceiling and guiding that pyramids of fingers towards the floor behind you. Once the fingers in pyramids are on the floor, press down, get a proud posture. We do our twist. Breath into the belly. As you breathe out, you begin to rotate. You're going to look over the left shoulder. Move the left hand around a bit if there is room. And rotate. Allow the spine, the muscles around the belly area. Loosen them up. And then go a little bit further around. And you come back to the center. Hand on each knee. Collarbones lifting. Your left hand on your right knee. Show the right hand to the front and exaggerate. Work that slowly. Let the shoulder blades, and top of the rib cage work. Once the pyramids are on the mat, press down. Get a proud posture. Then with the breath, as you breathe out, you begin to twist, looking over your right shoulder. Use the strength in the arm that's holding the knee to take you around as much as possible. Loosening up the belly muscles. Go that a little bit further around. And come back to the center. Hand on each knee. Collarbones lifting. Okay. Work with the hip joints. Work with the glutes at the back, the 3 layers of the glutei. Underneath the 3 layers of glutei are muscles. One of the main one is piriformis. It is sideways. That's what allows to pronate the foot and the thigh outwards and inwards. The piriformis. Underneath the piriformis, just underneath it, goes the sciatic nerve. So it depends on the condition of the piriformis. It may trap the nerve, it may be inflamed, whichever way it is. We're going to work the physical aspects of how to make sure that the piriformis, which is above the sciatic nerve, is stretched, flexed, and then simply weight put on it. So each muscle, when we put weight on it, also benefits from movement of more fluids, blood in particular. So we start with lying down, our regular posture, Shavasana. You're looking up at the ceiling and the habit is there. Back of your head, eyes begin to close as you lie down. First thing you do is pay attention to your lower back. If there's any discomfort there, you bend at the knees and plant your feet on the mat. That includes any sciatica related issues. Allow the lower back to go in towards the mat. If your legs are stretched out, find the edges of the mat with the heels. Let the feet flop a bit to the side. And as you turn your palms up, you allow the shoulders to roll away from each other at the front. Breathing in and out. Knowing when you breathe in, belly button lifts. When you breathe out, belly button towards the spine. Really working the diaphragm and the lower parts of the lungs. Breath in, belly button lifts. Breathing out, belly button towards the spine. Then go into normal breaths. But stay engaged with the belly area. Lifting gently, dropping down gently. Very deliberately, keeping your eyes closed, you take your awareness to the right set of glutei, gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, the right-hand side. Next time you breathe out, just tighten up the right-hand side. So right thigh, right glutei, everything tight. Your hips lift a little bit and let go. Breath in and out. Awareness to the left hip area, the left glutei. As you breathe out, tighten up the muscles in the left glutes, the left thigh, front and back. Allow the pubic bone to lift a little bit and let go. Breath in and out. It's really engaging the mind with the body. So we start with a simple, familiar posture, knowing where your glutes are, knowing that beneath the glutes, the piriformis and the sciatic nerve at the back. Next time you breathe out, bring both the knees to your chest, open your eyes, take your hands, wrap them around the tops of the shins, just putting a little bit of weight on the lumbar and thoracic spine area. As you breathe out, bring the forehead up towards the knees. So now, those glutes, the piriformis at the base of the spine, nicely stretching. Keep hold of the shins, let the head go back down. And then rock from side to side, going over the muscles, especially the right hip, the left hip. Go there, go as far as you can. Some of you dropping onto your elbows so you get the rib cage engaged as well. 3 or 4 rounds. And we'll be coming to all those muscles and working. 1 more round, side to side. When you're done, you're going to come back to the center, release the shins, plant your feet on the mat. First thing we do is to work the posterior chain muscles. So this is our Satubandha, very familiar posture. The bridge. Reach down, touch the backs of your heels with your middle finger or your index finger. Make sure the feet are hip width apart and a little bit of pigeon toe. Toes coming a little bit towards each other. That protects the knees. Good. With the breath, as you breathe out, start to push the pubic bone up towards the ceiling. Go as high as you can. Your eyes are slightly open. As you breathe in, you watch the belly button lift. As you breathe out, belly button collapses. Push into the heels, lift the pubic bone up a little bit. We'll be taking it a bit further. At the moment, let those muscles work. On the next exhalation, roll the spine back down. When the hips are on the mat, bring both the knees to the chest, put your arms around the tops of the shins, and as you breathe out, forehead towards the knees. So all the posterior chain muscles in stretch. Hold the hands, reach out, grab hold of the outer edges of your feet. Open the knees a little bit wider. Now use the strength in your arms to see if the forehead can go between the knees. Really allow body weight on the thoracic lumbar spine area. And let the head go back down, release your feet, plant your feet on the mat. Reach down, touch the backs of the heels, adjust the feet so you know your knees are being protected. We'll take it to the next level. Perfectly okay to do the level that we've just done. If you're okay with it, I'll talk you through the next level. As you breathe out, push the pubic bone up. Once again, going as high as possible with the pubic bone. And if you're taking it further, interlace the fingers underneath, palms facing towards your head. Begin to shuffle at the shoulders and bring the shoulder blades towards each other. Breathe in and out. Press into the heels, push the pubic bone up. Your little fingers are on the mat, touching the mat. Next exhalation, shoot the right leg up towards the ceiling. Push the heel, pull the toes in. That's it. All the muscles around the hip joints working. Bring the right leg back down, right foot back onto the mat. Push the pubic bone up a little bit. And with the breath, shoot the left foot up. Push the left heel away, pull the left toes towards your face. And bring the left foot back down. Release the fingers and slowly walk the spine back down. When the hips are on the mat, you once again bring the knees to the chest. But this time, place both the palms on the kneecaps. Keep the back of the head on the mat. Sacroiliac joint, descending spine where it disappears into the hip. Massage that area. Palms on the knees. Draw 3 circles on the ceiling with both the knees. And your awareness goes to where the massage is taking place now. All these areas lead towards releasing of the sciatic nerve. When you've done 3 rounds, you simply change the direction and balance out the left and right hip area. 3 rounds this way. And then you come back to the center, release your shins, plant the feet on the mat. And from now on, we begin to drop deep underneath the glutes. So once again, stretch your legs out. Stretch your legs out. Legs are parallel. Push the heels, pull the toes in. Good. Palms are by the side of the hips. Palms are turned up, so you're nice and loose in the upper body. As you breathe out, tighten up all the glutes and the thighs. Tighten them up. Pubic bone will lift up a little bit. Hold the glutes, hold the thighs, working. And let go. Breath in and out. One more round. When you breathe out, tighten up the glutes, the thighs, front and back. And let go. And the panacea for sciatic nerve, the supine twist. Open your arms wide in line with the shoulders, palms facing up. Bend at the knees, plant your feet on the mat, make sure the feet are hip width apart. Your right foot on top of your left knee. As you breathe out, take both the knees towards the right elbow, and then continue short breath. Left foot remains on the mat. Left foot is in the center of the mat. It remains on the mat. Right foot is guiding that left knee, inside of the left knee, to go towards the floor. Now, awareness. The side of the hip area is stretching, but more important, underneath the glutes, the piriformis muscles and the muscles around the piriformis. Let them stretch on the left-hand side. So this is the stretch component of the muscle. Don't forget the muscles above the hip at the side of the spine. So left leg straightens out. Take it all the way to the right-hand side of your mat. And if possible, drop that left foot onto the mat or onto the floor. And you feel the stretch above the left hip at the back. Powerful muscles there, the longissimus and the quadratus lumborum. Powerful muscles. Now bring the left foot back into the center of your mat. Keep the knees bent. Rotate at the spine. Take both the knees towards the left elbow. And you find your right toes on the mat. That's when you reach with the left hand and begin to guide that inside of the right knee towards the floor. You play the game with it. The more you pull it down, the opposite shoulder blade starts to come off the mat. Keep pulling the knee down, but guide the opposite shoulder blade, in this case, the right shoulder blade, back onto the mat. Let the stretches on the right-hand side take place. It's not just the tibial band. I'm more interested in the piriformis muscle, the one that allows the rotation of the hip, pronation. Good. Keep pulling the knee down, but take your awareness to the right set of fingers. You're just taking your awareness elsewhere. Allow the right fingers to be nice and wide, and then begin to draw the right hand up towards 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 12. If there is any discomfort, you come out of the posture. That's it. Pulling the knee down. Right set of fingers. When you breathe out, push them away from the right shoulder. And begin to bring the right arm back in line with the right shoulder. Turn your head, look to your left. And then you straighten out the right leg and support the back of the knee from underneath. Sylvia, feet on the mat, join the soles of the feet, let the knees drop to either side. That's it. Don't push the area that is aggravated. Now, as in your case, as the knees move away from each other, the piriformis is being relaxed or flexed, if you like. Those of you who are supporting the back of the right knee, push the right heel away, pull the right toes towards your face. And now use the strength in the left arm to see if the toes can go a little bit further up towards the top of your head, towards the top of the head. Wonderful. And everybody release, keep the knees bent, plant your feet on the mat, bring the knees towards each other, Sylvia, and hold there. If there are any issues where the sciatic nerve gives a feedback which is not pleasant, you simply leave your feet where they are, drop the knees to the side, and let the soles of the feet come together. That's a good way to release the piriformis. Arms remain wide in line with the shoulders. We do the other side. Your left foot on top of the right knee. Towards the left elbow. As you breathe out, both the knees towards the left elbow. So twist at the spine. Use the weight of the left foot on the right knee to guide that inside of the right knee to go towards the floor. And the right shoulder blade stays on the mat. Breathing in and out. Allow the stretches. The deeper muscles take a little bit longer to engage. Piriformis, there is nothing beyond it except bones. So let the stretch happen. If it feels right, stretch the right leg out and take it way towards the left side of your mat. And see if the right foot is ready to land on the floor or the inside of the right foot. Good. Bring the right foot back to the center of your mat and continue to twist. Take both the knees towards the right elbow. If the sciatic nerve is not happy, plant your feet on the mat, join the soles of the feet, let the knees drop to either side. Once the left toes are on the floor, reach with the right hand and begin to guide that knee down. So it's a case in point. Listen to the body. The more you engage with it, the better it will begin to perform because it knows, you know, and you're taking care of the sensitivity within the body. Pull the knee down, allow the outer tibial band on the hip to stretch. But more important, the piriformis and the glutes, stretching away. Keep pulling the knee down, but engage with the left set of fingers. Now open them wide, palm facing up. Let the arm be in contact with the floor as you begin to draw that hand up towards 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and if all is well, go up to 12. So your left upper arm is by the side of your face. Next time you breathe out, push those fingers away from the shoulder. Pull the knee down a little bit. And bring the arm back in line with the left shoulder. Turn your head, look to your right, and straighten out the left leg. Support the back of the knee with your right palm. Allow the knee to lock in a little bit. It's not always easy. The hamstrings are very tight. Push the left heel away, pull the left toes towards your face. You feel the soleus muscle engaging. It's the lower part of your calves. And then use the strength in the arm to bring the toes a little bit further up towards the top of your head. So everything in and around the hip joints, especially the left hip joint, and the sacral bones at the back, the sacrum area. Let the muscles stretch. Toes go a little bit further up. And release. Come back to the center. Keep the knees bent. Plant your feet on the mat. Knees are bent. Take your hands by the side of your hips. Palms are turned up. And the familiar posture. Join the soles of the feet. Let the knees drop to either side. In your mind, you know what's happening in below the glutes. Sciatic nerve passing through there. Piriformis nice and loose now, or flexed if you like. Basically easing. Sometimes it's the muscle that is inflamed. Sometimes it's the nerve that gets inflamed. Why that happens? Several reasons. One of the main ones, I think, is sitting on a chair for too long a period. That's my view of it. So as often as possible, if you have to sit on a chair to work, as often as possible, stand up, stretch, sit back down, stand up, stretch, sit back down. That way you keep the movement going. Bring the knees together. Bring the knees to the chest, arms around the tops of the shins. As you breathe out, bring the forehead up towards the knees. Good. Let the forehead come as close to the knees as possible. Use the strength in the arms to do that. Hold the shins, let the head go back down. Release the right leg, let it go along the floor. Shoot the left foot up towards the ceiling, grab hold of the back of the left thigh. So our focus is not just on the piriformis now, all the muscles in and around the hip joint. So the sciatic nerve tends to affect not just the piriformis area, but you will feel it along the thigh towards your toes. So here is a good posture to work with. As you breathe out, bring the forehead up towards the left knee, take the hands towards the left heel, way up as you can. Good. And then let the elbows fly a little bit and you come a little bit closer. If your forehead is already touching the kneecap, lift your face, let your chin touch the kneecap. And let the head go back down, release the leg, let the left leg stretch out along the mat. Awareness to the left leg, left hip, right hip. Working with the muscles. We do the other side. Leave the left leg extended, bring the right knee to the chest. Shoot the right foot up, grab hold of the back of the right thigh, allow the right knee to lock in as much as possible. Push the right heel, pull the right toes. On the next exhalation, begin to lift the forehead towards the right knee. Take the hands way up towards the back of the right heel and guide the forehead and the kneecap towards each other. If possible, open the elbows wide. Let those muscles, there's nothing to break here. There's lots of strong muscles at the back of the right thigh. And let go. Let the head go back down. Stretch the leg out along the mat. Allow the feet to flop a bit to the side. And the next posture is one of my favorites. It's the best way to release quite a lot, not just the lumbar spine, but of course, in this case, we're focused on the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve, it comes out of the sacral bones, 3 different areas, and works its way the back of the thigh all the way down to the toes. There are 2 strands of it. So let's work the whole area. Bring your right knee to the chest. Find your belt. Place the belt at the base of your foot. And if your belt is in a single loop, you'll end up with a loop in each hand. And you straighten out the right leg. Let the back of your head go onto the mat. That's it. Don't rush into the posture. Just allow the body to work now. So loop in each hand, or you're holding the band in each hand. Good. Stretch those hamstrings first. As you breathe out, bring the forehead up towards the right kneecap. Spread the elbows wide. Let the belt go wide. And your elbows and shoulders are also working. And let the head go back down past both the loops or past the belt to the right hand. Spread the left hand wide in line with the shoulders, palm facing up. And then nice and slow as you breathe out, take the leg towards the right, the other leg towards the right. Now, see if you can encourage the left hip to remain, back of the left hip to remain on the mat. Good. The foot may not go to the floor, which is good. Use the strength in the right arm to see if you can draw the toes a little bit more towards the top of your head. So it's again, glutes, piriformis, and of course, all the hamstrings, back of the leg, back of the calf, all the way down to the heel. Remember, the sciatic nerve goes all the way to the tips of your toes. And bring the leg back up. Pass the loops to your left hand. Open the right arm in line with the shoulders. And then start to take the leg towards the left-hand side. So your right hip is going to come off the mat. Your left elbow will drop to the floor. Your awareness is now towards the sacral bones at the back, underneath the glutes. As you use the strength in the left arm to pull the toes a little bit further up towards the top of your head, you know the right-hand side of your hip joint, the piriformis in particular, is really stretching. And if it is inflamed or the sciatic nerve is inflamed, it's not very comfortable. What you do is release the posture, come back, feet together, knees to the side. If you can hold it, it is even better. Pull the toes a little bit further up towards the top of your head. And start to come back up, bend at the knee, release the belt, let the right leg stretch out along the mat. Hold the belt in your hands or near you. And simply allowing the right hip area to register as being completely loosened up, flexed, taken care of in terms of the muscles, getting a chance to stretch and to flex. So we do the other side. Bring the left knee to the chest. Place your belt around the base of the left foot. And as you straighten out the left leg, see if you can get loops in each hand. So half your belt is around the foot. Good. Allow this leg to stretch. Arms may be stretching. Elbows may be a bit bent. Stretch the muscles at the back first. As you breathe out, bring the forehead up towards the left knee. Spread the elbows wide, let the shoulders and the elbows work as well. And you let the head go back down, pass both the loops to the left hand, all the 4 fingers through the loops. Spread the right arm in line with the right shoulder. And on an exhalation, take the left leg towards your left. Towards your left. That's it. Nice and slow. Let the left elbow drop to the floor. And you control. Is the back of the right hip in contact with the mat? Guide it back down if it's come off. Use the strength in the left arm to see if the toes will go a little bit further up towards the top of your head. Quite a lot of work this evening with the leg muscles, the hip joints. And bring the left leg up to the center, pass the loops to the right hand. Spread the left hand wide and slowly take the leg to your right. Let the right elbow drop. The wrist is facing towards you so you can see the tendons in the carpal tunnel area in the front of the wrist. So now use the strength in the right arm to pull the toes up a little bit towards the top of your head. And really allowing the stretch of the muscles on the left-hand side, left hip, left piriformis. Let it stretch. And you bring the leg back up, bend at the knee, release the belt, let the leg stretch out along the mat. Let the feet flop to the side. Let your palms face up towards the ceiling, slightly away from your hips. Close your eyes. And observe the backs of your hips, your legs, your feet. Knowing the kind of work you've done, every muscle, tendon, ligaments, joints have released and worked. We're going to stay with the postures that help us strengthen the muscles in and around the subject tonight, the sciatic nerve. So in your own time, you're going to roll to any one side, you're going to come up in a standing posture towards the very back of your mat to start with the full length of the mat in front of you. So, standing towards the back of the mat, full length of the mat in front of you. Hands drop to the side. You tuck your chin in, you look at your feet. Feet are hip width apart. Pressing the toes down. Lifting the arches of the feet. Putting a little bit of weight on the heels of the legs, feet, and the outer edges of your feet. Exaggerate the arches. Let the muscles work and lift the arches. Okay. We strengthen the muscles that we stretched. So in the postures that we've just done, we stretched a lot of the muscles. Now we work towards strengthening them. So any place you are, go to the center of your mat. This is our version of Utkatasana, sitting on imaginary chairs. And that really starts to build the muscle structure. And it's not just the glutes, it's the muscles underneath the glutes. They will all work, and of course the muscles along the spine. Feet are hip width apart. Then deliberately walk the feet towards the edges of your mat. So it's a wide leg stance towards the edges of your mat. Keep the outer edges of your feet parallel to the mat, outer edges of the mat. Stretch your hands forward in front of you, fingers wide, palms are facing in. As you breathe out, start to push your bum towards the wall behind you. And you tuck your chin in, look at your toes. Drop the bum towards as if you're going to sit on an imaginary chair. And as the knees move towards the toes, you deliberately push the knees back over the heels. And you can feel the muscles engage. Look up between the palms. Drop the bum another inch down. Push the knees back, but stretch the hands forward. One more. Drop the bum down. Push the knees back. Stretch the hands forward. And release. Come back up. Shake the legs out, come back to Tadasana. Feet hip width apart, hands nice and loose by the side, shoulder blades coming towards each other, palms facing forward. Arches of the feet lifting. So the whole range of muscles, from the backs of the heels, calf muscles, backs of the thighs, the glutes and the piriformis, and a whole chain of muscles either side of the spine at the back. So that was level 1. Perfectly okay to repeat that, which requires you to have your feet wide or have the feet hip width apart, and we go to the next level. Feet are hip width apart, let your hands stretch up above your head, open the fingers wide, palms facing in. On the next exhalation, push the bum towards the wall behind you, same as in the level 1. Tuck your chin in, look at your toes, but guide those knees to go over the heels, in line with the heels. Drop the bum down, push the knees back. Now add a little bit more. As you breathe out, lift your face, lift the hands up towards the ceiling. Drop the bum down, push the knees back, lift the hands up. And release. Come back out. Drop the hands, lift the shoulders, roll them back, and let the shoulder blades glide down the back. Palms facing forward. We stay with the component of working with any one of these postures you get to know to strengthen the muscles, consequently bracing the spine. And remember, the spine is not just at the bottom of your head. It's the thoracic, the lumbar, and then the sacral bones. That's part of the spine. And the sacral bones is where the sciatic nerve comes out, and the piriformis is one of those muscles which plays its game from time to time. So our version of Warrior 1, tippy toe to the very back of your mat. You've got the full length of the mat in front of you. I use this posture for my spinal strength or integrity of my spine. Don't have any issues, well, that's when I work at its most. Every chance I get, Warrior 1. Feet are hip width apart, hands on the hips, come up on the right ball of your foot, step forward with the left leg. And then you get that visual confirmation. Your left knee is over your left heel. So when you tap the back of your left thigh, you can feel the hamstrings, upper hamstrings. They are 5 different muscles, but get a good feel that they're working. Your right heel is pushing towards the floor behind you. It's not on the mat. It's going towards the mat. If it feels right, take both the hands up towards the ceiling, fingers nice and wide. And now just risk the balance. Start to look up towards the ceiling. Take the hands as far back as they're going to go. Drop the hips a little bit and fingers nice and wide. And everybody, look straight ahead. Bring the arms parallel to the floor in front of you. As we twist, you listen to your piriformis muscle, your sciatic nerve. Those of you slightly challenged this evening on that area. Rest of you, just build the strength. Twist 45 degrees to your left. Keep the fingers same distance from the shoulders. Okay. Drop the hips a little bit. You feel it on the left side of your hip. Come back to the front. Fingers wide. Let the hands go up towards the ceiling, but make the fingers into pyramids. Lean back with the pyramids. Look up if the balance is there. Otherwise, look straight ahead. And slowly fold forward as slow as you like. Pyramids drop either side of the left foot. On the next exhalation, you straighten out the left leg. Move the pyramids back if you need to. And then guide your forehead towards the left kneecap. Breathe into the stretches at the back of the left thigh. Look at the mat, bend at the left knee, step forward with the right foot, and come back up, and tiptoe to the back of your mat. And we will do the other side. All of you in here, you know the rules. If it doesn't feel right, you simply release the posture, observe, and then eventually, as you build the practice, it will come right. Powerful posture for maintaining the integrity of the spine. Hands on the hips. You come up on the left ball of your foot, step forward with the right leg, and you immediately work towards making sure the right knee is over the right heel. And that left heel at the back is pushing towards the mat. Fingers nice and wide. Let the shoulders rotate. Take the fingers up towards the ceiling. If the balance is there, look up between the palms. Drop the hips a little bit. Push the left heel towards the mat. And everybody, look straight ahead, bring the arms parallel to the floor in front of you. We work the right side underneath the glutes, the piriformis. Twist by 45 degrees to your right, till you feel the muscles stretch on the right-hand side. And you drop the hips a little bit. Come to the front again. Make the fingers in pyramids. Let the hands go up. Look up if the balance is there. Otherwise, look straight ahead. And fold forward, slow as you like. Pyramids either side of the right foot. And on the next exhalation, straighten out the right leg, move the pyramids back a little bit, and let the forehead go towards the right kneecap. And you look at the mat, bend at the right knee, step forward with the left, and unwind. Come to the center of your mat, and turn to your left or your right, but allow you're in the center of your mat. You've got the long edge of the mat in front of you. So we put a lot of those things we worked on together to stretch all those muscles at the back. So Parsarita Padottasana, it's a wonderful one for working with the muscles in and around the sacral bones, underneath the glutes. So it's a forward bend. Let the legs go wide, hands are on the hips. Now very deliberately, a little bit of pigeon toe. So your toes come a little bit towards each other, and you can activate the arches of the feet. Now, with the breath and listening to your body, as you breathe out, begin to rotate forward. I'm sticking my chin forward, trying to keep my spine as straight as possible, and then tuck the chin in and let the crown of the head face towards the mat. Before you release your hands, have a look left and right. Make sure you can see the arches of the feet. If they are there, then drop the hands in line with the feet. Fingers may be in pyramids, some of you palms on the mat. And then slowly guide the crown of the head to land between the palms. And you know from the backs of the heels, backs of the legs, around the lower spine, to the back of your head. Everything is stretching and working. If it feels right, otherwise stay as you are. Reach out, grab hold of the big toes, index fingers and the thumbs wrap around the big toes. And as you bend at your elbows, if your crown of your head is already on the mat, fine. If not, guide the crown of the head towards the mat. A bit more intense stretch in the hamstrings. Breathe. And look at the mat. Plant the palms underneath the shoulders. And with a single in-breath, come up. As you breathe in, lift and come up. Hands on the hips. Toes, heels, feet are hip width apart, hands by the side, lift the shoulders, roll them back, and let the palms face out. Awareness to the arches of the feet, they are active. Balls of the feet pressing into the mat, heels carrying body weight. Breath in and out. Good. So as always, we work the whole body. So we change our focus from the lower half of the body to the upper half of the body. And one of the finest one again is thread the needle. So even those with the sciatic nerve issues, work with thread the needle in your own time. Go and sit back on the backs of your heels towards the back of your mat. If you're just getting introduced to this posture, I know, Maggie, you may want to just watch or do level 1, whichever is comfortable for you. Over time, all the levels will come together. As you sit there, drop your hands by the side if you're okay with it and your thumbs are already in the arches of your feet. See if you can give the arches a bit of massage. Again, like anything else in the body, the more attention we pay to that specific area, the better it seems to respond. Good. Stretch the front of the body first. So start to lean back a little bit. Plant both your palms on the mat. Fingers are pointing towards the knees. Knees remain together. As you breathe out, bring the shoulder blades towards each other and lift the sternum. And then look up towards the ceiling, back of the head into the shoulders. Take advantage of the posture. Tops of your lungs, let them stretch. 2 breaths. Breath into the tops of your lungs. And out. Breath in. And slowly come back up. Hold on to your feet or the sides of the hips, but continue to rotate forward. Let the belly go onto your thighs. And your forehead, as you tuck your chin in, is going towards the mat. Allow the elbows to drop towards the mat. And the whole of the spinal area, from the base of the spine, the coccyx area, through the sacral bones, through and above the hips at the back, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, and the back of the neck, cervical spine. And lift your head, start to come back up, and shoulder blades a little bit towards each other. So everybody is going to listen to their body. We're going to do the all levels of thread the needle. Now, first thing you do is make sure on the side of your mat, there's nothing lying there. So in case you lose your balance, you're not going to fall on, especially a glass of water or anything like that. If it's clear on the side, Open the knees as wide as the mat and grip the quadricep muscles with all your four fingers and the thumbs. Really good grip there. As you breathe out, you start to lift the bum away from your heels. And you eventually come up onto your knees. Big toes are touching, knees are wide. Continue to fold forward and plant your palms on the mat. So there's nothing on the sides of the mat, which is good. Your right hand walks behind the left along the floor. You keep looking down till the right shoulder and the forehead drops to the mat. Then you engage the muscles in the neck, turn, twist the neck, and bring the chin as close to the left shoulder as you can. Good. If all is well, release the left hand up, open the fingers wide, and allow the fingers to disappear a little bit from peripheral vision. So again, awareness goes to the glutes, the piriformis, the sciatic nerve region at the back. Level 1. If you hold it, you're working quite a lot of the area in and around the entire spine. If you're taking it further, level 2, your left toes towards the outer edge of the mat, straighten out the left leg, and allow the back of the head to go onto the mat. And your left hand is going towards the mat behind you. Taking it further, left leg, keep the knee locked in and stretch the left leg up to 45 degrees. Then you bend at the left knee, reach with the left hand, grab hold of the front of the left foot, and push the left knee away a little bit from your face. Now it's about balance. Your right foot begins to lift up, and your knee and the arch come into contact. You release the left foot, straighten out the left leg, and allow the back of the left hand to go on the floor beyond your head. Hold all the hands, hold a little bit. And slowly drop the knee to the mat first, palm in front of the face, and you pull the right hand back. Keep the knees wide. Go and sit back on the backs of your heels. Breath in and out. And we do the other side. Knees remain wide, big toes are touching. Grab hold of the quads again, and in your own time, lift the bum away from the heels. Let the quads engage. Once you're on your knees, fold forward, plant your palms on the mat. Make sure the knees are at least or slightly as wide as the mat, so you get a good balance. Your left hand walks behind your right hand along the floor till the shoulder drops to the mat. Then you turn your head and start to look up towards the ceiling. Your chin is coming close to the right shoulder. Release the right hand up. And that allows a little bit more work in the thoracic spine. Level 2, your right leg. Let the foot go towards the outer edge of the mat. Straighten out the right leg and allow the back of the right hand to go towards the floor. Breathe. Keeping the right knee locked in, Lift the right leg up to 45. Bend at the right knee, reach with the right hand and find the foot. And then push the right knee away from your face. Left foot begins to lift up. Find the arch and the knee, connect. Release the foot and release the hand to go beyond your head, your right hand and your right foot. Shallow breaths. And slowly begin to release out. Knees, palm, pull the hand back and sit back on the backs of your heels. Hands drop to the side. Toes, thumbs into the arches of the feet. Shoulder blades coming towards each other. Good. I want to start working with a number of inversion postures, but because I'm not there, I'm not able to see whether you're doing things safely. I'm sure you are. Most of you are well-practiced yogis. But if you can, from next week onwards, we're going to start to use a wall. Now, it can be a wall. You can see the wall behind me. Or it can just be the back of a door that closes well. So that we can use that structure to help us with some inversions. At its simplest, it's legs up the wall and lying down. Then we can go into half shoulder stands. And I would like to start again on half handstands. And then add variations to that as we progress. So when you're ready for next week, I'll put the note in the link when I send you for next week, is to find a spot where you can walk your feet up the wall. So it'll be very simple postures, but we work with the inversion. More and more of that now coming in. As we get into the winter, we'll start to build strength in the arms as much as we do in the legs. Okay, that's enough for today. So we're going to do some pranayama and then back into relaxation. So get your warm things on if you want to put them on. Make sure your blankets, if you're using the blankets in the relaxation posture, bring them, place them by the side of your mat. So when you go to lie down, you're really going to gift yourself the time for relaxation. But before we do that, come up, cross legs, sitting up, and we attend to one, maybe two different pranayamas. And as always, it's almost getting towards a meditative state. So, flex of the wrists on the knees, index fingers and the thumbs link up. Take your time. There's no need to rush. I'm just talking you through as you allow the collarbones to lift, lower back arching slightly, chin tucked into the chest or towards the chest, not in. Eyes closed. And once you're in the posture, you begin to engage with the body. Yes, the index fingers and the thumbs are just touching each other. The outer edges of your feet are being pressed into the mat. Go to your sitting bones, pressing into the mat. We are in the region of the piriformis muscles. Sciatic nerve. As you sit upright, You feel the ease within the body. Backs of your wrists resting on the knees. Deliberately, shoulders dropping a little bit away from your ears. Breathing in and out. Focus changes to working the insides of your lungs, working the diaphragm at the base of the rib cage, and using the abdominal muscles. This is our version of the Kabalappati breath. The breathing is almost like lighting a fire. So really working with the best range that you have. To talk you through, we're going to do 3 rounds of it. Older hands, you're going to start counting to 25 when we're in Kabalappati breath. Newcomers, 15 to 20 if possible. Really pumping the lungs as much as you can. Tuck your chin in a little bit. Your eyes may be closed, may be open. Start with a full exhalation. Pull the belly button towards your spine. Empty the lungs as much as you can. You may even lean a bit forward. Exhale, exhale. Pull the belly muscles in. Halfway, inhale, halfway up. And begin to use the muscles. 1, 2, 3. Exhale fully. Pull in the belly muscles. Lift your face, fill up to the very top. Hold your breath and pull the belly muscles in. And let go. Normal breaths. Second round. Exhale fully. Belly button towards the spine, the belly muscles squeezing, lungs beginning to empty a little bit. Halfway up. Inhale. Use the muscles. 1, 2. Exhale fully. Lift your face, look up to the ceiling, fill up to the top. Hold at the top, pull the belly muscles in. And let go. No more breaths. If 2 rounds are enough for you, you simply lie down. Go into Shavasana, which is what we're going to do after the 3rd round. If you're okay, tuck the chin in, eyes closed, begin to exhale fully. Squeeze as much air out as you can. Halfway up, inhale. And use the muscles. Exhale fully. Lift your face, fill up to the top. Hold the breath, pull your belly muscles in. And let go. No more breaths. Observing both the nostrils are open, mind and body in balance. Good. From there, we're going into a full relaxation posture. Again, as I say, this is a gift to ourselves as we go to lie down. If you're used to covering yourself with blankets, do that. But as always, pay attention to what the body is saying. Sylvia, knees remain bent. Join the soles of the feet and let the knees drop to either side. Stay in that posture unless it's uncomfortable, in which case you bring the knees towards each other. Sciatic nerve needs attention physically and mentally. If you're in a full Shavasana, find the edges of the mat with your heels. Let the feet flop to the side. Very deliberately turn the palms to face up, slightly away from your hips, backs of your palms on the floor. And that opens the anahata, the heart energy region. Eyes are closed. Gentle breath in and out. The more you listen to the body, the more you will begin to exercise your right to keep your body at ease. If there is anything uncomfortable, you make the adjustments. You know, as a yogi, you know exactly what needs to be done to ease, whether it's the knee or the shoulders or the sciatic nerve or the spine. Once you're as comfortable as possible, then you begin to gather your mind and bring it towards the tip of your nose, behind closed eyelids. Gaze at the tip of your nose. And then allow the awareness into the nostrils, and you feel the temperatures. Cool air going in, slightly warm air coming out. Keeping the mind engaged with the body, but keeping it busy as well. Observe your posture. Go to the very back of your head that's resting on the mat. And you observe, back of your head along the mat is in line with the shoulder blades. on the mat. They are both in line with the tops of your hips, the outer edges of your calf muscles, and the outer edges of your heels. A wonderful straight line, the mat, the floor. Acknowledge the natural arches of the spine, so your lumbar spine is slightly off the mat. And so is the back of the neck. That's when you give it a label. Perfect posture. From the nostrils, your awareness, begin to move it down through the front of the body, go beyond your belly button, drop in underneath. So you're going towards the mat at the back of your spine. You're very near the tops of your hips. Your glutes are firmly on the mat. Tops of your hips is where your awareness goes. You're observing, you're looking. Go to the center where the lumbar spine is going down, disappears into the hips. Follow that lumbar spine, but it becomes the sacral spine. So good 6, 7 flat vertebrae, all fused together. A little bit of an arch in the sacral bones. And then there are several loose vertebrae that we call the coccyx at the very base of the spine. Just visualize, it's like a tail. Come back to the sacral bones or the sacral vertebrae. You're looking at the sacral bones from underneath. So you're from the glutes up towards your pubic bone. And there you see the sacral bones in front of you. The sacral 2, 3, and 4. The sciatic nerve comes out of each one of those holes. So it's left and right. If you focus on the left, you follow the 3 sciatic nerve strands coming out of the sacral bones. They join up to become a bigger nerve. We call it the sciatica or sciatic nerve. When it's challenged, it's called sciatica. Follow the large nerve. Go underneath the piriformis muscle. And you go towards the outer edge of your right thigh. So you're simply following the nerve. Come back to the sacral bones. Once again, looking up. This time, identify the left-hand side, the 3 strands of the sciatic nerve, becoming the major sciatic nerve going underneath the left piriformis, towards the outer edge of your left thigh. With the kind of postures you've done today, this evening, with the belt and the supine twists and standing postures, all of that region at the back is warm, but has no ache or pain at all. If the sciatic nerve is inflamed, yes, you will still have some sciatica. Breathe into that area. For the sake of knowing, follow any left or right sciatic nerve towards the outer edge of your thigh, back of your thigh. And then as you get closer to the knees at the back and the side, there is a separate strand of sciatic nerve that then heads towards the feet and the toes. Knowing that if you have sciatica, sometimes it's only the thigh area that aches or tingles. Sometimes it goes beyond the knees into the toes. The basis of the issue, the problem is the same. The nerve is being compromised somewhere along the line. So your supine twist, using your belt to really activate and release the piriformis areas, which will bring some relief if there is inflammation there. Bring your awareness back to your nostrils. Keeping your eyes closed, gently roll your head to any one side and see if the ear is ready to touch the mat. And you come back to the center, continue the twist and allow the other ear to go and touch the mat. Come back to the center. Gently blink open your eyes. And then begin to bring the knees to your chest. Wrap your arms around the tops of your shins. Keep the blankets on if you're using the blankets. As you breathe out, bring the forehead up towards your knees. Again, stretching the muscles either side of the spine. Keep hold of the shins. Let the head go back down. And at least 3 rounds, rocking from side to side. And in one of those, drop right down to the elbow, get the side of the rib cage, press down a little bit. Then you do the other side. And then gently finishing with a little bit of rock from side to side. And that's when you come back to the center. Release your knees, plant your feet on the mat. And from there, in your own time, you're going to roll to any one side